Hello Internet. In this video, I would like to share my experience with the Arduino HMI library. First, download and install the Arduino IDE Integrate Development Environment. Then, follow this instruction and install the driver of Arduino Micro. Download this IDE Arduino Next-Gen library. Open Arduino IDE. Under Sketch, include Library as zip library. Input the path of the download file. Wait for a moment until the menu turns black. Under Files, Examples, it shows IDE LIB Arduino Next-Gen Master. Because Arduino Micro has only one hardware serial port, I have to modify some settings in the library. Under Documents, Arduino, Libraries, IDE LIB Arduino Next-Gen Master. Open Next config.h bioeditor. In my case, I use Visual Studio Code. At 9:37, comment out this line by adding 2/. Add these 3 lines for the software serial communication. Press Ctrl S, save the file. Here is the demonstration code. I will share this code in my GitHub. Here is the Arduino built-in keyboard library. Here is the IDE LIB Arduino Next-Gen library. In my project, I use pin 10, 16 for the serial communication. Here is the declaration of this button. I name it P0 B0. Press 0 button 0. You can use any name for it. Add this button to the release event list. This function is for the action when the button is released. I simulate it as pressing 0 on the keyboard. In the setup, initialize this button releasing event. In the main loop, it just checks whether there is any touch events. Under Tool, Board, select Arduino Micro. Ender 2 processor. My board is 5 volt 16 Hz. My board is using COM port 9. Press here to upload the code. Done uploading. This library works. However, it takes 4 decoration lines for just one button. If my project has 300 buttons, there will be a large number of decoration code. Under Documents, Arduino, Libraries, I remove this IDE Arduino Next-Gen library. Use browser to open GitHub. Search for Next-Gen. Try this simple Next-Gen HMI library. Download this library. Open Arduino IDE. Under Sketch, include Library as zip library, and put the path of the download file. Wait for a moment until the menu turns black. Under File, Examples, Next-Gen's Master, select Receive Messages. Modify the software serial to 10 and 16. Press here to upload the code. Done uploading. Open the serial monitor. Pressing the HMI button, it shows some text in the monitor. I have a separate video about the interpretation of this code. Here is the demonstration code. I will share this code in my GitHub. Here is the software serial library. Here is the B-Bon-CR Next-Gen HMI library. Here is the Arduino built-in keyboard library. I used pin 10, 16 for the serial communication. Here initialize the HMI. Receive message from HMI. If page 0 button ID 1 is released, it simulates pressing 1 on the keyboard. Press here to upload the code. This library also works. With this opportunity, thanks for Bentley Bone to share his library. This library is easy to use. It does not require many decorations for one button. However, I would like to have a minor modification of this library in my project. I use this flowchart to explain. In my project, there may be more than 300 buttons. If I scan all the buttons one by one, I think that the microprocessor will be very busy. I use this method instead. I am not a programmer. I don't know how to code this method. To have a fast scanning, I cascade the scan into 2 layers. Is there any button events? If no, do nothing. Which page does it belong to? Then scan the button on this page. In my project, there are around 40 buttons on each page. Here is the serial monitor output before modification. Under Documents, Arduino, Libraries, Nixian Master, Open Nixian CPP Bioeditor. In my case, I use Visual Studio Code. At line 239, modify as shown. At line 243, comment out this line by adding 2/. Save the file. Back to Arduino IDE, compile and upload this code again. Done uploading. Press the same key on HMI again. The code is now in hex with the spacing. 65 SE in ASCII. Here is my actual project code. By folding the code for easy visualization, I open it by Visual Studio Code. There are around 800 lines for 120 buttons. I fold the code. Here check whether there is an HMI message. Here check whether it is a button or hotspot event. Which page does this belong to? These are the scan buttons on page 1. For this button, assembly pressing C on the keyboard. For this button, assembly pressing V on the keyboard. I will share this code in the next video. In the next video, I will talk about the Arduino keyboard library, Arduino macros, simple auto hotkey. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.